Sarcastic? Oh, tell me something good. And funny. Tell me something good.
The other day, I was mindlessly scrolling on Twitter, or as mindlessly as one can scroll on twitter.com. And then I came across this.
Tell me something good.
My immediate thought was simply, no, 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 please no. Disclaimer, I didn't say that because I dislike Glee. I actually really like Glee for reasons that I am about to go into. In fact, I am part of the problem in that I also do musical theatre and have done a cappella in the past. Like I am the issue. This play is about me. But Glee needs to be left alone. Yeah. So this is a video, nay, not a video, but a plea. Please don't reboot Glee. For those of you who don't know what Glee is, which depending on who you ask could be considered a blessing, but that's besides the point. Glee is a musical comedy drama show written by Ryan Murphy, Ian Brennan and Brad Falchuk that aired in the late 2000s to mid 2010s. I mean, anyone who's watched the show could tell you that Glee cannot be captured in a single sentence. So I guess the summary that you could find on Wikipedia will have to suffice for now. For this to be something vaguely resembling fair, I'm gonna talk about the problems with Glee before I get into why I actually like it. As we all know, nothing is perfect and Glee is no exception to that rule. Depending on who you ask, some might say that Glee invented the rule, but I wouldn't go that far. So as someone who is a Glee enjoyer, a Gleek if you will, I suppose it's only fair that I talk about these issues before I go on to glaze it for 15 minutes. One issue with the show, and possibly the main reason why I think it shouldn't be rebooted, is because Glee could not have been made today. A lot of modern media has the problem of being so 2020s in the way that it's shot, like aesthetically. You know, if you've heard of like Netflix lighting, and also in the references that it makes. It's a problem that comes up in like modern literature too, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people praise older media for being timeless. Glee, despite being pre-2020s, has a similar problem. This isn't really an issue aesthetically, but it does start to come up when you consider the show's comedy, and that's where people might start to use the term problematic. Now, I'm not saying that anyone should be cancelled for anything, but part of Glee's charm is its outrageous humour, if charm is the word you want to use there. But it really does get to a point, and no character encapsulates this better than the one and only Sue Sylvester. My goat. At least 60% of her lines contain cancelable material of some kind. Like just this, I'm gonna show you a clip from season 1.
I'll often yell at homeless people, "Hey, how's that homelessness working out for you? Give not being homeless a try, huh?"
Madness. And as much as like Sue is written that way for a reason, I don't even know if a character like her could be written today, even if it is very much deliberately satirical. Another problem with the show that I think would only be worsened if it was rebooted is its decline over time. It's pretty much universally agreed that the show falls off hard after season 3, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. So because it's set in a high school, obviously the main cast is going to graduate at one point or another, right? So they do, and then they introduce a new cast of kids in season 4 to follow, while also doing like a sort of dual storylines thing where we follow like Kurt and Rachel et al, because people just keep coming back in their post-school endeavors. And then season 5 is basically that, but worse. See, but at least the season 4 soundtrack was generational. Let's have a Kiki. I want to have a Kiki, lock the doors tight into that was so loud.
Have a Kiki. I want to have a Kiki. Lock the doors tight.
Into Turkey Lurkey time. That changed lives. Lives life, mine, me, very important to me. And also Crete is... Yeah. Yeah. I've heard season 6 isn't actually so bad, but I haven't watched most of it. And I don't remember the parts that I have seen. So you're gonna have to take the word of the general population of the internet for this one. My bad. Maybe I probably should have watched some of it before filming this, but that tweet shook me to my core and I had to act immediately. Relatively immediately. I waited until the heat wave was over. I feel like the longer Glee went on, the more seriously it took itself, and that was ultimately to its detriment, because Glee works best when it knows that it's stupid. Like, it's a really well-made show, but it's satire. I think when it focuses on its like dramatic moments, like a lot of season 4 actually, it is not so great. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still some like baffling moments that are like typical of the show's earlier writing in like seasons 4 and 5.
And what are you here to lecture us about, Kurt? Our horrible taste in clothing?
My dad has cancer. Thanks, Tina.
But they are sort of like interspersed between more serious moments where it's like Glee's kind of like, what if we had a go at drama? And I think Glee is ultimately at its best when it's more like tongue-in-cheek and self-aware.
Brittany.
Mr. Shu, is he your son?
Now that I've been completely critical and fair in judging Glee, here's reasons why I really like it. And I think all of these things would be very different if it were to be rebooted. So please don't touch it. Anyway, here's why I like Glee. Yeah, so the cast of characters in Glee is truly a special mixture of individuals. I once saw someone say that if you didn't hate everyone at least once while you were watching Glee, you weren't paying attention. And I would say for the most part that is a very accurate statement. Everyone on that show is pretty easy to dislike at one point or another, except for Mike Chang, my goat, who deserved more screen time and did nothing wrong. And everyone being an exaggeration of a high school type is necessary for the show to work. And I feel like these kinds of archetypes were more prominent in media at the time that Glee came out, which is why if it happened today, I don't know if it would hit the same. It probably wouldn't. But take Rachel Berry, for example.
Well, at least I didn't fall and break my talent.
She's an exaggeration of the theatre kid type. But she's complex, comedic, and many would hate to admit relatable at times. And it's her complexity that makes her an interesting character, because if everyone was completely likable all the time, this show would be so boring, and also a lot of it wouldn't work. This fight
Stop the violence.
wouldn't be able to happen if Quinn and Santana weren't written to be complex and unlikable at times. Speaking of exaggerated characters, actually, sorry, I missed a very important one that puzzles me to this day. Rory? Can we talk about Rory for just a moment? Played by the Glee Project winner, Damien McGinty. The Glee Project was the reality TV show that kind of went alongside Glee, and like the winners would get a chance to be on the show as like their own character with like a certain number of episodes of an arc, but it's besides the point. His entire personality, his entire character was Irish. The fact that there was genuinely a subplot where like Brittany believed he was a leprechaun, and he had a thing for her, so he just let her go on believing it, and like he spent an episode convincing her that he was a leprechaun. Like, only on Glee, man. Glee relies on absurdity and a kind of what the hell sure or yes and approach to storytelling. If you don't worry about the logistics and the realism of Glee, it's a super fun watch. And doesn't that sound like the approach you have to take to musical theatre generally? See, it seems stupid on the surface, but really and truly, it's very quite smart. It's really quite smart. It must also be mentioned here that there have been some pretty insane stars on the show. Personal favourites of mine: Gwyneth Paltrow as Holly Holiday, the substitute teacher, Kristen Chenoweth as April Rhodes, and Idina Menzel as Rachel's mum, despite Wicked canonically existing in the Glee universe. So I don't know if it's just like, they're like, huh, these two people really look like the stars of Wicked on Broadway. But it's just never addressed, and you kind of just have to be like, yeah. Also, Olivia Newton-John as herself.
Let's get physical.
But it really makes me wonder, if they were to reboot Glee, like, who would the stars be? Like, take the Wicked situation. Would it be like the stars of Hamilton or something? The concept of Lin-Manuel Miranda on Glee, I feel like that could happen, and that frightens me. Isn't it kind of insane how you can play any song written before 2014, and there is a good chance that if it plays in a crowded room, one person will be like, oh, they did this on Glee. That's cultural impact. No genre was safe.
25% show tunes, 25% hip-hop, 25% classic rock.
100% gay.
One of my personal favorite covers, or shall I say one of the most iconic, period, is Vocal Adrenaline's rendition of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, which is interspersed with scenes of Quinn giving birth. Not only is that real music, but it's also real cinema. I mean, there were artists whose entire discographies got gleed. Take Michael Jackson, for example. The Michael Jackson episode is a personal favorite of mine, partly because Smooth Criminal is very important to me. There's a sound in the window, a crescendo, but also the slushy rock salt insanity of it all. In terms of iconic dialogue, Glee's got that covered too. It's genuinely gotten to the point that I can't hear Josh Groban's name without auto-completing the line. And I genuinely say pleek on a day-to-day basis.
Please, please, please.
So I think it's pretty clear that, as baffling and sometimes headache-inducing as it is, I love Glee. But I never, ever, ever want to see them reboot it. Please do not reboot Glee. Aside from the problematic aspects of the show, which I've already explained my thoughts on that, I also think it's a work of art that is really of its time. Also, I'm generally speaking, I'm not like super on board with reboots unless there is a genuine creative motivation behind doing them. Like, if they're gonna do a different angle on it, like, sure. But if it's just like bringing back the exact same format and that kind of like, there's no point. Do you know what I mean? As much as I think that Glee is brilliant, I think there has to be a genuine good reason for rebooting it, aside from financial reasons and the fact that people miss it. That being said, if they do end up doing a reboot, here are some songs and musicals that I would like to see them do, or I have imagined being done on Glee if it had extended past 2014. So there would have been a Chapel Roan tribute episode. I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and I 100% agree. Kurt Hummel Pink Pony Club would have happened. Britney would have led Hot to Go, and I can hear Rachel Berry, The Subway, in my head, particularly the NYC arc. Like think about it, picture it. Right, yeah. Also, the Glee Club so would have done Heathers, and it would have been problematic. Quinn Santana Britney as the Heathers, obviously. Obviously, Rachel would have ended up as Veronica, but low-key, the thought of Tina Veronica. Also, Mercedes Mrs. Fleming, so I can hear Shine a Light. Thank you. Really random one, but I could really see Rachel Berry singing Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. That one came to me randomly, unattached to this video actually. Like the thought just popped into my head. There also definitely would have been a Hamilton episode with Mr. Shoe rapping, and it would have hurt me deeply. And there also would have been some commentary adjacent to the "you're all minorities, you're in the Glee Club" thing with the casting.
Because you're all minorities. You're in the Glee Club.
So, Glee. Undeniably strange, arguably a bit dated, but ultimately, in my humble opinion, Very, very clever. If you're watching this video and haven't seen it yet, good luck, because there is nothing quite like the feeling of watching Glee for the first time, and there is truly no way to prepare someone for it. But don't get it twisted, I do actually strongly recommend. And while I do strongly recommend, I just truly never want to see it brought back to life. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below to let me know what you think about a potential Glee reboot, a Glee boot if you will. And also what songs you'd like to see the Glee cast cover. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.
Tell me something